For a person to place their faith in Jesus Christ, they've got to hear the gospel first. So that means if you want to be an effective soul winner, you've got to know which message to share, right? So I want to take a few minutes with you today to go through a very simple gospel presentation. And this gospel presentation is based on the Indian Hills Community Church's Eternity Tract. Now, this tract was designed with three different things in mind. First off, it's designed to be complete. So what I mean by that is on the back here, you'll see 5 little points. And these 5 points are going to cover the essentials of the gospel. It was also designed to be concise. So that means if you go through the points of this gospel, you don't have to worry about spending too much time on something that's unimportant. You've covered everything that the unbeliever needs to hear to be saved. The third thing that this gospel tract was designed for was to be user-friendly. So there's 5 points on the back, and if you open it up, you'll notice that there's these little tabs that correspond to the 5 points. So it's all laid out across the same 5-point structure. Now, it'd be really handy to use this gospel tract, but what I think is even more important is having a gospel presentation memorized. So that's what I want to do with this right now. I want us to be able to have a gospel presentation so fixed in our minds that we can clearly and concisely communicate it. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to lay out 3 categories in our mind. We're going to have bad news, good news, and a response. The bad news is sin and penalty. The good news is payment and resurrection, and the response is faith. So you think we can get that memorized? Let's try it. So bad news is sin and penalty. The good news is payment, resurrection, and the response is faith. Let's put some verses into it now. So all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. The wages of sin is death, but God demonstrates his own love towards us, and that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. He died, but he rose from the grave. Now believe in him. If you confess with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. So bad news, good news, response. Sin, penalty, payment, resurrection, and faith. So if you want to be an effective evangelist and you want to win people to Christ, what you've got to know is the gospel. And if you truly know the gospel and you really know it in your heart, then you recognize that you're a hopeless and a helpless sinner, right? What kind of good can I do apart from God's grace? Any claim to righteousness, any claim to effective service is only by his goodness and only by his mercy. So when it comes to evangelism, if we have that right perspective, God, you're the only one that can make this effective. That really simplifies things, right? It's not my persuasiveness. It's not my charisma. It's not my wisdom. It's God's power. It's his Holy Spirit that does a conviction. It is his gospel that is the power to save. If we want to see unbelievers come to faith, we have got to give the message about Jesus Christ to them clearly so that they can understand it.